With me is Humayun Kabir. He is the foreign policy advisor to the chairman of the BNP, Tarique Rahman. So welcome to WION. It's pleasure to have conversation with you. My first question to you is, we have a BNP government very soon coming to power after this landslide victory. How do you see relationship with India? What will be your policy?
In terms of our foreign policy would be set on three grounds. First, we will not have any country-dependent, country-specific foreign policy. Our foreign policy will be, secondly, multifaceted, and thirdly, flexible. So, having these as guiding principles of our foreign policy, and the centerpiece being the national interest of the people of Bangladesh, we will base our relations in strengthening bilateral relations with countries in the region and beyond. The relationship with India, the onus is on India to reset its relations with Bangladesh, foreign relations with Bangladesh. We've seen in the past 15 years under the rogue autocratic regime of Sheikh Hasina, the relationship was between Sheikh Hasina and the government of India, not the people of Bangladesh and the people of India. To somewhat, the responsibility fell with Sheikh Hasina, who perhaps did not give India the space, we would like to believe, to engage across the political spectrum, across civil society and our cultures. So now is a good time to reset, for India to reset its foreign relations with Bangladesh, realizing that in today's Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina Awamu League does not exist. Sheikh Hasina is nothing short of a terrorist who has fled, killing 1,500 people in the country, looting the country's exchequer with her corrupt family members, with her corrupt, party cadres, and now who has fled with other armed criminals in India. And Sheikh Hasina cannot utilize or be seen to be utilizing the sovereign soil of India to destabilize Bangladesh with terrorist activities from there. If the Indian government is seen complicit with that, then it becomes difficult and challenging to work with the government of India. If they can restrain that and reset their foreign policy, realizing that Sheikh Hasina Awamu League doesn't exist, of course there will be room for cooperation, and the sentiment of the people of Bangladesh will somewhat also maybe conducive, more conducive to seeing a working relationship with the government of India. Because cooperation it's good to have neighborly cooperation between countries in the region. It is, the normalcy of international diplomatic order that we see normal relations between elected governments of countries in the region.
You made an important point when you said that reset. You also talked about how reset can happen. But your vision in terms of a reset, what will it entail? Because so far we have seen in this election campaign absence of any anti-India rhetoric, which is seen significant. We've also seen the congratulations by the Indian Prime Minister. So how do you see the congratulation being extended to your party for the victory? And of course, essentially your vision of a reset.
I think it's positive. These are very kind, warm words from PM Modi yesterday in his call, elect of the country. So, it's a good starting point towards the right direction. And, also previously the external affairs ministers, when he came over to condole Begum Khaleda Zia's passing away, he made some very kind gestures also towards resetting some of that relations, and we warmly welcome that. And we want good relations between our countries, and if we can take a clean break from the past, then space definitely exists and should exist to build cooperation.
The Indian Prime Minister was the first leader to speak to the BNP chief Tarique Rahman, who is tipped to be the Prime Minister. What kind of conversation happened?
I mean, one of the principal points of the call we discussed was that I congratulate you on a resounding victory, the resounding confidence of the people of your country, giving you a huge mandate, shows the confidence they have in your relationship. And it is through a relationship with you that we want to take, move to a new phase of relationship, working relationship with Bangladesh in building cooperation. So, this is, clear recognition of the people of Bangladesh's sentiment, and it is a welcome gesture. It was very cordial, and both elected leaders of our respective countries in that call shared the view that, let us try and work together and build some cooperation. So it is positive, and it's a positive gesture. The call was a positive gesture in the right direction. Because you see, if the mindset of two potential, two governments really want to work and pragmatically address the challenges we have between us, then there can be, some serious development in, strengthening of our relations, and we can look at also other areas of potential trade, investment, cultural exchanges, educational exchanges, civil society exchanges. So if we can widen the net of our relationships across the board. But the stepping stone of that is that realizing in today's Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina and arm doesn't exist.
Everyone is now waiting for the big moment, the oath-taking ceremony of Tarique Rahman. I can see the palpable excitement on the ground. What's your plan when it comes to inviting the regional leaders? Any plan like this?
I mean, the region is important to us. It is an important part of Mr. Tarique Rahman's foreign policy vision is to provide leadership, cooperation in the region, and lead sort of with other leaders in making this region an influential region in leading on global affairs. So I think there will be a sense of priority from his side in, sending out invites for the inauguration. So yeah, regional leadership, obviously the time frame is quite short, but, at least that gesture of goodwill is there.
Significant in many ways, but talking about regional groupings, both SAARC and BIMSTEC, what will be your view? Whether it's SAARC, because SAARC was essentially the idea of Tarique Rahman's father, and it gained currency before issues erupted. BIMSTEC is a grouping that helps the Bay of Bengal region. So what's your view about both the groupings?
I think, these are can be utilized as two distinct instruments for foreign economic and potentially security cooperation. And in terms of, I think these are two good sort of institutions that we strengthen. I mean, BIMSTEC is headquartered in Dhaka, but I don't know how many people in this country really know that. The visibility of BIMSTEC has to be increased, and we believe through BIMSTEC there are, certain areas that we can address, come together on, as well as applying the SAARC framework. We also believe that a certain political vision can be set out for the region. So these are two instruments, I would say, distinct instruments with distinct terms of reference that we should look to positively utilize in various ways. Going forward.
Okay, sir, going forward, trying to utilize it. But coming to the previous question, you said you're going to invite regional leaders, which includes the Indian Prime Minister. Do you expect the Prime Minister, you hope Prime Minister Modi comes here in Dhaka?
I mean, you give an invitation in the hope of people attend. So, if you came to me with your daughter's invitation, wedding invitation, for, I'm just doing an analogy, example, you would have the expectancy for me to attend. Otherwise, So, but, if I can't, then maybe a family member of mine can, or someone else can. But, you don't give an invitation just because, if I only confirm my attendance. So if I say, I'm coming to your daughter's wedding, then you say, yes, okay, I'll give you an invitation. If you're not coming, no, I won't. His invitation, in terms of, it will be an invitation of, he believes in sort of regional partnership. He believes in regional cooperation, and he wants to strengthen relations with regional leaders. And it is from that goodwill that he extends the invitation. Obviously, it's for the governments of respective countries to take their decision. It's a short time frame, and they take their own decisions on that. But Tarique Rahman Sahab is positive, and thinks that in terms of from his side, a goodwill gesture of invitation definitely should be pursued by the current interim government in inviting leaders of the region to the inauguration.
Now, so talking about Bangladesh as well in terms of the vision, our viewers would like to know about what is the vision of the BNP led by Tarique Rahman for Bangladesh. He started by saying, I have a plan, and that has become the branding of the entire campaigning. So what's the vision of Bangladesh under Tarique Rahman?
Prosperity, economic growth and development, and opportunities for all. Ambitious. This is part of his plan. And when he says, I have a plan, these are values that are integrated, values and ambitions that are aspirations, values, and ambitions integrated with that plan. And this is what he aims to do and his government aims to do.
So radicalization has been an issue. How do you see India and Bangladesh jointly perhaps countering this problem? Because this is a worry for you. It's a problem for India as well.
Yeah. Radicalization has become a regional issue. There is big radicalization also in India. There is, in terms of radicalization, when you say, we see the growth of some interest in religious parties, both in India, Bangladesh, potentially maybe in Pakistan as well. And that's due to when the political class, the plural political class fail, these elements get traction. And this is why we have to always ensure that we govern. Our governance projection must be one of plurality. And it projects and it aims to present a plural approach to governing the country so that the government is owned by the people of the country. It is governed inclusively. Running a party and a government is not the same, it's not the same thing. It cannot be run in the same way. A government cannot be run like a party cannot be run like a government. So when Tarique Rahman Sahab will be elected to the seat of Prime Minister, he will be the voice and the symbolic gesture of democracy and the democratic space of Bangladesh and the aspirations of people of Bangladesh. So he will be taking the people into confidence. The mandate he has got is not from the BNP, it's from the people of Bangladesh. So he'll be governing for the people of Bangladesh, people of the country. It will be inclusive, it will be representative. His government will look like what Bangladesh is today. And hope to govern in an inclusive way so that Bangladesh's polity, can have confidence in his leadership and his government in delivering goals that open up opportunities for all in this country, regardless of religion, regardless of caste, regardless of what walk of life, whether their parents are rich or poor, or it doesn't matter. Opportunities will exist under a BNP government for all. So we want every citizen of this country to be ambitious about their future.
The last two questions. First, of course, perhaps if you can point out about how does BNP see its relationship with neighbors like Myanmar, Nepal, and of course Bhutan, key countries, and of course Pakistan as well.
As I said, in terms of the regional vision here is important in our foreign policy. And, this time, right, we have a resounding mandate. The BNP will be coming with a very strong mandate, 2/3 majority. So people have given us the mandate to go out and resolve the Rohingya issue. So one of the first, engagements will be with, we hope to have with Myanmar. We want to build good relations with Myanmar because we want this Rohingya issue resolved. It's a serious national security concern for us, and we want that to be resolved. So we want to create that space, an avenue of discussion. We want to open up this space to regional cooperation and multilateral cooperation so that we can, resolve this at the earliest. You mentioned, Pakistan as well, having people-to-people relationship, sharing and exchanging information on counterterrorism. Because if you're saying that, there are somewhat of influence of potential radicalization from some part in Pakistan, the logical common sense thing says that I must share information with Pakistan. Pakistan must share information with me. So I have to have a relationship to do that. So, I cannot avoid the relationship. If Pakistan and India can talk at crisis point, why can't I engage with Pakistan? There's no issues here. I should not let the problems of India and Pakistan become, the sole problems of the people of Bangladesh. But what we must do is also be a conduit in terms of trying to diffuse that tension between our two countries, because historically we share a lot of, shared space, culture, sentiment, views. So I think Bangladesh can be a positive influence in some way or another in diffusing that tension between India and Pakistan at times. And we would like a peaceful and prosperous, region. Yeah.
My last question to you, when I interview next time with you, will I be interviewing Foreign Minister Humayun Kabir?
That is $1 million question at all. At the moment, I have a job entrusted on me by my leader in the party, in the government. When he takes oath as Prime Minister, it is for the Prime Minister of the day, prerogative for him to, decide how, his cabinet and his government. So we'll have to wait. But what I've done to date is for, my party, my leader, my party, and the people of my country. I'm very proud of that achievement, that we've been able to oust a terrorist rogue leader like Sheikh Hasina from this country, and especially, in terms of from her seat of illegitimate authority. So that has been the finest and proudest achievement. The rest, it is up to the will of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and my leader is for him to decide what the future may lie in terms of where I will, what I do.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. So there you have it, the word from Dhaka about foreign policy, whether it's India, whether it's region, or whether it's a potential reset between New Delhi and Dhaka. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibal for WION in Dhaka, Bangladesh.